like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet are actually young noble leaders of the World Economic Forum. So that we penetrate the cabinets. The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us.
We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? To take the necessary action to create a fairer world. I see the need for a great reset.
So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
There is only one way this pandemic is going to go. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Oklahoma, maybe you're looking at your phone and it's saying SOS. What's going on? My husband had that this morning and he's freaking out. And I was like, did you do your phone updates? No, this is all happening at 3 a.m. So we did that. Coming to work. He's not the only one, guys. If you're experiencing that, it may be a result of space weather. Okay, I'm going to do my best to explain what's going on. Let's go ahead and take a look. So there was a strong solar flare event that happened just after midnight, and they actually captured an image of it right here, okay? I had to look up this scale. I wish I knew everything about space weather. That's a whole different specialty. But R3, that's for radio communications. It's on a scale of 1 to 5, and 3 is pretty bad. That means it impacts radio communications for a few hours after this happens. And so right now that could be impacting some of our technology. And sadly, we're entering a solar maximum where we're going to see more and more solar storms, solar flares. And it's never happened in this time of human history where we're relying on technology like we have never before. So interesting time. Hopefully they'll fix it. But the good news is, at least when you're on Wi-Fi, you should be able to still text and call people, right? But there is an effect on radio. It peaked right after midnight. And there you go. A flare is an eruption of energy. You have these electromagnetic waves shooting towards the Earth at the speed of light. So it's almost immediate impact on the light side of Earth where the sun lights up. And so there you have it. We'll see. The ionosphere is protecting us from all this stuff, but it can interrupt radio communication.
In international headlines, the U.S. and its allies are sharing their concerns about the threat of a cyber attack by China. They met recently in Munich for a security conference where experts warned they are unprepared. National correspondent Atron El-Nashar explains what they fear could happen.
FBI Director Christopher Wray warning U.S. allies and partners the Chinese Communist Party is putting its entire government behind an effort to undermine global security, rapidly developing cyber tools combined with espionage and election interference to do it.
The cyber threat posed by the Chinese government is massive. China's hacking program is larger than that of every other major nation combined.
China building cyber weapons within critical infrastructure poised to attack when Beijing decides the time is right.
To cut us off from our water or electricity whenever they want, to take control of our phones or our personal data.
Members of Congress acknowledge the federal, state, and local governments and private companies that run these utilities are not prepared. In a recent op-ed for The Hill, Charles Clancy, Chief Technology Officer at research and development company MITRE, writes, "A 100-foot tsunami is coming, and we're rearranging sandbags on the ground. Should the time come, it would be massively disruptive for everyday Americans." Cornell professor Rick Geddes.
Your cell phone, so that's all now wireless, and so that's connected to towers, connected to satellites. If there were some sort of a cyber attack on that type of infrastructure, there's no backup.
Control systems for water and sewage plants connected to the internet are also vulnerable.
They're stretched, and they just don't have the internal bandwidth to address these cybersecurity threats on their own. So they really need help.
Geddes and other experts say localized training and support are the best defense, so operators can detect and respond to a cyber attack in real time. And time is of the essence. FBI Director Wray says China is using artificial intelligence to rapidly improve its hacking operation. Chinese authorities consistently deny these accusations. In Washington,
news right at the top, and a lot of Americans are feeling it right now. If you've had some trouble using your cell phone this morning, it's not just you. You're not alone.
Yeah, major carriers have been experiencing widespread outages all across the country, though AT&T is the most affected overnight. Users are on social media, and they're saying their cell service was down. They were unable to make or receive calls. Many are saying, though, texts appear to be working just fine. We're going to try to sort all this out with NBC's Brian Chung. Hey, Brian, good morning.
Good morning. Some pretty alarming issues here nationwide when it comes to the cell phone outages. So it's happening at three major carriers. It's happening at Verizon, AT&T, and also T-Mobile. AT&T appears to be the most affected with about 30,000 outages that went down and then spiked back up alarmingly. We've also seen issues around 1,000 in number at Verizon and T-Mobile. And what seems like a good sign, AT&T outages, they did dip. But again, we're going to see whether or not after they've spiked again, can they really resolve those issues? Now, some of the most affected areas so far, they include San Francisco, Los Angeles, Houston, Atlanta. So it's happening in many pockets across the country. And there have been alarming reports from the San Francisco Fire Department that they can't get 911 calls. So this is really impacting some emergency services. We don't know what the reason is for the outage. The San Francisco Fire Department is saying in some cases you should try to use a landline, and we've reached out to all of the companies for comment. We have not heard back since.
I mean, what's interesting is that it's more than one carrier. So, I mean, there's a range of possibilities, I suppose, and we just don't know yet what happened here.
Right. Like, is it something that could be hacking related? Is it something that could be weather related, satellite related? We don't know at the moment. We're trying to get more information, but we have not heard back yet.
But it's affecting big cities right now. That's where you're getting the most reports from.
Yeah,
major
and
cities.
Even anecdotally, I mean, even this morning we've heard of some of our own colleagues having issues reaching some of us by cell phone. But again, this is happening. It's still happening. We're trying to see how.
Interesting also that it's nationwide. There's not one region affected.
Right.
Yeah.
And nothing from the carriers. You said they haven't made any comment as to what's going on.
They have not, no. But again, we've been hearing of issues in South Carolina, in New York City as well. So again, it seemed like AT&T was able to make the number go down, but then it spiked back up again. So again, it's just, we're not out of the woods yet.
All right. Stay on it, Brian. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link